Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yesterday I got jabbed, and when I came back home, I researched enough to understand how are vaccines made. Vaccine? What the heck is that? A vaccine is a product that contains a weaker version of the real virus. It is weak, but it triggers our immune system to start producing an army of antibodies. And what the hell are antibodies? These are special units of the immune system that specializes in identifying and destroying bacteria and viruses, and they are very powerful. When the real virus attacks, the immune system is ready to respond with an overwhelming force of antibodies, thereby providing protection to our body. For example, a Covishield vaccine contains an adenovirus which is modified to look like a coronavirus but is not as infectious. The immune system starts producing antibodies against the virus, and when the actual coronavirus attacks, the immune system is prepared to fight off the invaders. It's like it would be much easier for you to defeat your opponent in a battle if you already have the blueprint of their tactics and strategies so that you can develop yours to beat them. In a similar fashion, our immune system is able to study, analyze, and build its own specialized fighters called antibodies during the first minor encounter. By the second encounter, the immune system totally destroys the virus. Now let's talk about how vaccines are made. Now, vaccine development can take a lot of time, almost 10 to 15 years, and cost around $1 billion to develop. There are different ways to manufacture a vaccine, and in the end, we will also look at how a COVID vaccine is made. No difficult and technical jargon I will use, I promise. First method, make the virus weak. The main reason why we get affected by the virus is the multiplication of viruses in our body. The cell in our body has a nucleus that holds the genetic code in the form of DNA and RNA, which holds the blueprint of our body's growth, reproduction, and health. The virus can take over this machinery and misdirect our cell's nucleus to form thousands and thousands of copies of the virus itself, thereby impairing our health. This method focuses on weakening the virus multiplication. A normal virus would multiply by 10,000 times, but this method of making a vaccine weakens the multiplication of the virus and bring it down to just 10 or 20 times. But once our immune system recognizes this virus, it starts creating an army of antibodies against the virus. When the person gets infected for the second time by the same virus, his immune system would simply overwhelm and defeat the invaders. Vaccines for measles, mumps, rotavirus, chickenpox, and influenza are made this way. Its advantages are just 1 or 2 doses are enough to obtain lifelong immunity. Inactivate or kill the virus. The vaccines for polio, hepatitis A, influenza, and rabies are made this way. The virus is completely killed with a chemical, but since the virus is still seen by the immune system, it starts producing antibodies against the virus, and during subsequent encounters, the immune system can neutralize the virus. The biggest advantage of this type of vaccine is that it can be given to someone with a weakened immunity. Its only limitation is that it requires several doses to be effective. Use part of the virus. Vaccine for hepatitis B is made this way. Hepatitis B is a virus that causes the liver disorder. It could be prevented with a hepatitis B vaccine. Hepatitis B virus has a small surface protein named HBsAg. Liver infection happens when this protein multiplies in the liver. This protein, that is HBsAg, is removed, put into yeast, and is multiplied in small quantities, but is multiplied enough to produce an immune response from the body. The vaccinated person's immune system then starts producing antibodies against the virus. When there is a real hepatitis B virus attack, the immune system overwhelms the virus and protects the body. The biggest advantage of this vaccine is that it can be given to those with weakened immunity. Use part of the bacteria. Bacteria produce a harmful protein called toxin. Many toxins work by inactivating these toxins with a chemical. These toxins, once killed, are called toxoids. Vaccines for diseases like diphtheria and tetanus are made this way. Now let us look at how COVID vaccines are made. mRNA vaccines. The American vaccines Pfizer and Moderna are manufactured this way. To understand how this COVID vaccine works, we need to understand what are spike proteins. Spike proteins. These spike proteins are the spiky structures on the surface of the COVID-19 virus which are used by the COVID virus as a key to enter our lung cells, take over its machinery, and command them to make millions and millions of copies of the COVID virus. This spike protein is key in the success of COVID-19 multiplication and infection. It is like a key to your neighbor's house front door. You can break into someone's house without the knowledge of the house owner if you have the door keys of his house. If we can somehow introduce these spike proteins to our immune system can learn about it and start producing antibodies against these spike proteins and kill the COVID virus. In this method, the COVID-19 vaccine delivers the messenger RNA, the genetic material of the COVID-19 virus that has a recipe to make spike proteins. Once the person is vaccinated, the dendritic cells in the human body starts producing these spike proteins themselves. When our immune system realizes that these proteins are foreign, it starts producing an army of antibodies against these proteins. Next time, when a person encounters an actual COVID infection, the immune system becomes capable enough to fight off the infection and ward off the invaders. Vectorvirus vaccines. A very popular vaccine, particularly in Asia, called Covishield, is made using this technique. A weakened version of the common cold virus called adenovirus, which is usually found in chimpanzees, is modified to look like coronavirus. A person vaccinated with Covishield is given a weak and a small dose of this modified adenovirus. Our immune system then starts producing antibodies against this virus. When a person encounters an actual infection by the COVID-19 virus, the immune system has its army ready to fight and overwhelm the virus, and that is how we are protected. So if you've liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment whether I was right or wrong, and how was your experience when getting jabbed. Thank you.